guys, Jack here. And y'all already know it's Retro Games Week. Oh my god, this week I'm so excited for this right now. So growing up in Trinidad, I had a really interesting obsession with video games, especially arcade games. So most of you guys grew up with your Metal Slug, your Street Fighter, your Resident Shooter. Wait, isn't it Resident Evil? Something like that, whatever. But my main shit was Mortal Kombat first got introduced to me because my cousins had it on the Super Nintendo system, and I was so intrigued by the game. I was like, oh my god, this game is actually really freaking cool. I want to play. And at the time I was young, you know, so all my older cousins were playing the game, and they were like, no, you can't play, you're too young. So they let me play the game, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? This game is so cool. Oh my god, I need this in my life right now. My favorite all-time character at the time was Liu Kang. Oh my gosh, I just loved the way his moves would like flowed into each other, and the fact that he was all kung fu-y and shit. And like my favorite all-time move to use on everybody when they played me was the butterfly kick. I mean, that move's pretty sick. And just his combos just like meshed well with each other, and I was just like, oh my god, this game is fucking amazing. Oh my god. And like there would be times where I would win, and there would be times I would lose because I was just like, oh my god, they would hit me with that fatality. I was like, oh my god, it's over, it's a wrap.
Fatality.
So as time progressed, I got older, and with me getting older, so did the games. The games have definitely changed over the years. I finally was able to get my own system. My first ever Mortal Kombat game was actually on the Game Boy Advance, and it was the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance game. Wow. Like, I would spend hours and hours on end playing that game because I just thought they changed everything, so the characters were cool. I was able to unlock my own characters. Fight the bosses on my own. I don't have to worry about anybody helping me because I was at the age at that time, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, when you're like, at that time when I was younger and I was 7 years old and I was like really intrigued by the fatalities that they would have in the game. Like, I'm physically surprised that I didn't chop any bitches up when I was younger, to be completely honest with you. Like, bitches weren't safe with me, because, like, their ass could have gotten sliced. Well, I mean, Shaquille, there was that one time when you threw that knife at that one boy. Luckily, he had an apple in his hands, because if he didn't, bitch would be, like, missing some fingers. And that actually is a true story. Like, David could vouch for that shit. Like, ask him. Tuesday gang. Yeah. And just seeing all the different spectrums of the games, how they've grown over the years, just made me love it even more. Watching the transition from Mortal Kombat 3 all the way to Mortal Kombat 10, wow. The difference in gameplay and the fighting styles have changed so immensely that just makes it more interesting to play. For any age at this point, because I mean, kids at 5 know how to say fuck. I'm sure they can handle a little blood.
Fatality.
But from then to now, if I had to choose a favorite video game out of the Mortal Kombat franchise, besides my first ever, which is Mortal Kombat 3, honestly, it will have to be Mortal Kombat 9. Because that was the Mortal Kombat game that I won from a YouTube channel back in 2011 called CLEVVER Games. I took part in their Fatality contest. I had to answer a question about what my favorite fatality was of the game, and then I told them, and I won. I won this bad boy back in 2011. Thank you, CLEVVER Games. You guys hooked a bitch ass. And moving from that, then ended up getting this. Like, when I got this, because I was so hooked on the other one, when I bought this one, I was like, wait a minute. Like, when I got this, I noticed they've changed so many things. Even from the fighting style, you have different fighting styles in this one too. The characters have changed immensely. And it's just growing and growing and growing. I can't wait to see what they do if they continue the franchise into years to come. These games have changed my life, and like, they were like my first fighters that I ever started playing and getting into. I'm so happy I found a game I could sit and enjoy for hours and hours on end at that age, because it was so much fun to me, and even still, it's still fun now. I mean, yeah, it's been a while since I've played because, you know, life gets in the way, but that was the OG for me, like those games. Oh, and by the way, for this still person that's watching this video, you know who you are. You got my PSN thumb. That tea though. But yes, that's it for this week. Retro Games Week is done. We are over. It's finished and I'm sad. Next week, I highly recommend you guys tune in because Y'all ain't gonna wanna miss next week. It's about to get real steamy up in this motherfucker right here. But that is with me, Shaki, and thank you guys for tuning in to this week's Fridays with me, and I will see you guys all next week.
Yeah.